Tag. That is a perfect onside kick. Look at that bounce high in the air. Aguilar, you got to be more aggressive. If you're a backline guy, you got to go attack that ball.
That was the recovery on the onside kick late in that fourth quarter, thanks to CBS. Joining us now on the right Twitter guest line here on Fox Sports 910, the recipient of second place in the Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B Fan Appreciation Golf Putting World event last Wednesday, and he came in and played hard. And Frank, I don't know if you know this, but Jax and intern Barney came in first, and Manooch's group came in last. Yeah, Dan was in last place.
Not Manooch. He came in last place. Like, was there a trophy for last place? Or this just like
bowling. It was bowling. They all got bowling.
Yeah, it's like take up another sport, please.
Bowling. They all got a round of bowling at Bowlerama. Yeah. So, but hey, it was good to see you there, man. You were. I was surprised how quiet you were, and just you were to yourself. Didn't talk to anybody. Didn't take any pictures. It was interesting to see you like that.
What an Auburn snob you were, man. Oh, man.
He was great.
Oh, my God. You guys stop it, man. You know I'm totally opposite. What a great time, though. Great event put on by you guys. Not blowing smoke, man. It was a great event. Seemingly what you would think would be an easy moment just to putt, but, man, it was some great competition out there, and a lot of guys trying to get after it. The way they got those putting greens set up out there is a good challenge for anybody who needs to work on putting.
Definitely. Well, so Frank, it took, by the way, real quick, because I know we got into some Cardinals talk, but it took him about, 14 holes until he figured out his Scotty Cameron. It was coming off too fast, he said.
Okay.
It was coming on, right? Yeah. Right, Frank? It was like, good, 14
yeah,
holes.
Absolutely. Look, hey, anyone who knows who has a Scotty Cameron, like they literally say it's the best putter in the world. It puts it flat. It keeps it a true roll putter. I don't have that. I have like a 1974 DeSoto Nike putter, and it's like slow as molasses.
So, Frank, we found out today that Joshua Dobbs will be the emergency quarterback on Sunday against Cleveland, and that Clayton Tune and Kyler Murray will be the other two. So are you expecting Kyler to get his first start of the year?
Not start. Per se, I don't think they're going to start him.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if they do. I think you kind of want to let him kind of, get himself. I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't. I would prefer him not to come in immediately and go out there, because that's when you get the guys at their most highest moment. If they know Kyler's going to be the starter, those guys on defense, knowing that Cleveland has a hell of a front four on their defense, they're going to try to get after Kyler 100%. I would prefer to let him kind of get his feet wet a little bit into the moment, knowing he's getting ready to play. Breathe a little bit. Look, I played with Jake Plummer for 5 years, and Jake would literally go and throw up every time before a game, knowing that he's the starter. So I don't expect Kyler to have any less jitters than that after being out. So I wouldn't start him. I prefer to catch him in the second half.
Okay, so your franchise quarterback, he's completely healthy, he's activated. So like what Peyton Manning said in that Saturday Night Live skit, so you want to lose? So you want to put the rookie quarterback in with one of the best defenses in the entire National Football League? Why would you spot you 45 points before we put Kyler Murray in the second half? Frank, that's an oxymoron to say, well, let's just kind of ease him into it. Ease what? The kid's been out for 7-8 games. You're not hey, look, you don't get that. This is Manooch. You ain't got that Cuddy Sark thing going on right now, do you?
You want to hit him?
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to Rock right now. Rock. No wonder he got last place. God.
I mean, that makes no sense, Frank. That makes no sense. Your so-called wink franchise quarterback. He's healthy, and you're not going to start him? What?
I'm not going to start him, and the reason why is because he needs to kind of get that feeling of what the game looks like, not in pads, and that moment of not necessarily going out there. Immediately, the jitters are too much. They're a lot to deal with. This is game. This is week 9.
3 minutes.
In my best opinion, him sitting in and coming into the game, kind of getting that feel, seeing what he needs to do, it's just a better feel. Because if you're going to start him and take him out, then it makes no sense. Like I prefer him to kind of get that feel of second half, and then next week he's the starter coming in, and that way you can kind of build that. He can kind of build that momentum going in. You take him in, you start him. And then we start to lose, and then we're winning, and then you take them out, and we start to lose. Then who won this argument?
No wonder why those Cardinal teams were 4-12 all them damn years you were over there. Are you kidding me? I mean, Frank.
It's come from a backup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a backup. Yeah, I'd love to be starting in that game, but if I got my guy and he's going to play, what is it? Are we like scrimmaging at Auburn to see? Let me let my starter fill it. Frank, I don't understand that train of thought.
They're starting last week, right? But here's the deal: the locker room is a sensitive place.
2 minutes.
We've been losing game after game after game, and the guys have been giving complete effort. And they've played 4 quarters of football. I'm not taking nothing away from what you're saying. There is sense to what you're saying and starting a quarterback if he's healthy. But then you're going to start him and take him out. And I just know that the nerves and the jitters that take place on game day is absolutely insane. And so him coming back and that process is just a little bit more. I would ease him in the second half. But I understand what you're saying. However, that locker room, those guys in the huddle, if we start off winning with Kyle and we go 21 to their 7, and then we decide to take him out the second half, and then we lose 35-21, that is more emotional damaging than it would be if I put him in the second half.
They're 1-7. How much more emotional?
And we won the game.
They're 1-7. How much more emotionally damning could it be right now? They're not going anywhere. So if you're going to win, and I think, quite frankly, if Michael Bidwell gets ingested in this, I think, look, if the kid's ready to go, now the kid, Kyler Murray, our franchise was making, let's see, $30 million a year. You're not going to start him? What? Come on now, Frank.
He was going to make that regardless if he played or not, which he's doing very fine right now. He's still getting his checks on Monday. They're being the direct deposit. So whether he starts or not, that doesn't really matter. I just think that the mentality of the team, where they've been, how close they've been in the fourth quarter, if you transition and you give him that opportunity to carry the ring, so it just makes it better for next week when he really is the starter.
Okay, so in your estimation, you start Tune and they're down 21-0, and then you bring Tyler
play anyway
to save the day. Is that the idea?
He's going to play anyways, Frank.
Look, these are the hypothetical of numbers does not matter until you play the game. The idea, what I'm focusing on, is what you guys are not focused on, is the mentality in the locker room with those guys in the huddle. And what's taking place. A loss is a loss, but a win is there's just, guys, how you say there are those emotional wins that you need to have. Kyler needs more of an emotional and physical win, more emotional win than he needs physical. He needs that mentality of saying, this is back to my team now. There's a different mentality he has to take on than sitting on the sideline for the last, 7-8 weeks. And that's just a tough process, I know.
Hey,
Frank, whether he starts or not, he has to go out and play.
I think I'd be jacked up if my starting quarterback were playing Kyler. That team will be jacked. They'll be fired up, come out of that locker room against one of the best defenses in the league and fired up. That's the emotional charge. Is Kyler Murray's going to start for us? Our guy is back. Let's go out, kick some booty. Let's go make this happen. Versus, oh hell, we got a rookie quarterback that's going to start for us. If he gets hurt, well, Kyler's going to play anyway. I'd look at the charge coming from the guy starting.
No, I get it. I get that. The idea is we've already had Joshua Dobbs carry us for the last 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. 8 days out of from Cleveland to the starter of the season, and he's played 8 games thus far. He's like number 27 on the list of quarterbacks in yards right now. He makes it easily 1.5. He's your long-term guy, and so I see that in my mind saying more than likely if he's your emergency backup, that means he's not necessarily Joshua Dobbs will not necessarily be the number one guy in any part unless something happens. And so God forbid that happens. But my mindset is that the team needs to see going forward, getting Kyler the second half and then getting Kyler the first game next week. That's me. This is what I prefer to happen. And I really hope it happens that way because I know the start of the game is absolutely ridiculous emotionally for a quarterback. And that's why a lot of them throw picks in the first half. Manute, you know about that.
Frank, we all love you, buddy. We'll see you next week, man. Thanks for the time, as always.
Go get your mind right, would you please? My goodness.
I'm going to go get it, man. My second place, I'll be at Arena. I get $50. You want to share?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll meet you there.
See you, Frank. That's Frank Sanders joining us here on the Rock of Manooch with Jimmy B. We'll finish up. We got to talk some D-backs.